Hello there.
People who think it's okay to leave your dog in a hot car. I'm Memevolution9. I made this video so you can get to know me better, if you care about that. Thanks to everyone who left questions for me to answer. I just want you to know that I love you all. You're making my life 9% more happier. To get this started, I will tell you about my journey of getting into the Beatles. I regret to tell you this, but I used to be a Beatles hater. I only knew their popular songs and thought they were overrated. My family isn't into rock music either, and being from a former communist country, my grandparents had no access to the Beatles or other foreign bands. And that's so sad, because I bet they would have liked their music and bought albums, went to concerts, and told me all about it and gave me vintage vinyls. And so, I really have nobody in my family to bond over the Beatles or classic rock with, which is why the internet fandom is so important to me. Back at how I got into the Beatles, at the end 2019, I started getting into classic rock because of movies, specifically those directed by Martin Scorsese. I loved Pink Floyd and the Rolling Stones and thought they were much better than the Beatles. Unfortunately, at the end of April 2020, I came across a few Beatles fan pages in my Instagram Explore. I couldn't believe that the Beatles had a fandom. I thought it was so funny. Oh well, so I stalked a few of them. Someone posted a picture captioned, "I've been listening to Helter Skelter all day, so I got curious and decided to listen to the song." And oh boy, I was shocked. I had no idea that the Beatles made heavy music like that. That instantly got me hooked, so I listened to more. I also watched lots of interviews, and honestly, it's their humor that made me love them so much. I immediately detected their meme potential, especially John's, so one night before falling asleep, I started making scenarios about me creating a YouTube channel and posting memes. And so, the next day, this happened. I also was on the Beatles Amino, where I'm a curator now, and I made collections of cursed Beatles images. An online friend told me I should post them on Instagram. I was reluctant at first because I had just been planning to uninstall Instagram because it was kinda addicting and I wanted to have more time for other things. But in the end, I did it. And I couldn't stop getting meme ideas. I couldn't sleep at night because I had too many ideas. My Instagram was instantly successful, however my YouTube was flopping and copyright was annoying. The struggles I went through to upload this, and it barely made any views at first, and I quit YouTube on the 9th of September 2020 because YouTube didn't let me post this one. Little did I know that a few months later my channel would blow up. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. I had been dreaming of getting many YouTube views ever since I was very young, but I didn't even think it was possible. So here I am now.
No, the business went bump.
The next question is, top 10 reasons why I love the Beatles. Number 2. Meme lords. Number 5. Great music.
Number 9.
Number 3. Number 3. Number 10.
Ringo has a sexy nose.
Number 5. Number 69. Number 7.
Number 9.
Who's your favorite Beatle? John Lennon, because I like his songwriting and singing voice the most. I also think he was the funniest and a huge meme. And he had an interesting life full of growth and trying to become a better person. It's always that sad boy hiding behind a sarcastic persona that gets me, you know. Favorite artists beside the Beatles? David Bowie.
Meme school.
Pink Floyd, Linkin Park, The Smiths, Blur, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Lord, The Velvet Underground, The Weeknd, Fleetwood Mac, Flume, The Kinks, Gorillaz, The Clash and The Doors. Hope I didn't forget any. Best album and best song by the Beatles preferably. My favorite Beatles album is Revolver, followed by the White Album because of how chaotic it is. You've got masterpieces, whatever this is, heavy songs, and memes. My favorite Beatles song is I'm Only Sleeping. And my favorite song of all time is probably Echoes by Pink Floyd. You should rank all the albums from good to best. Oh well, here is my ranking. Also posted it on the community tab before. Who's your favorite behind the scenes Beatles person? I think it's Brian Epstein because he kept the Beatles together. I truly believe that the reason why they broke up was his death. They were lost without him. But in the end, all of them are very important, even Mal Evans for example, who deserves more recognition. Thank you for asking, this is how I feel. What is your unpopular Beatles opinion? What is a Beatles song movie that you think is overrated? Some of my unpopular opinions are that Dear Prudence is the best song on the White Album, that Sgt. Pepper only has a few good songs, but I must admit that the concept is great and original, and obviously that Revolution 9 doesn't suck and is something very unique. The fact that the biggest band of all time had the balls to release it only makes it better. I also don't hate Yoko and kinda like her, it started as a joke. And a Beatles song that I find overrated is Let It Be. What's your favorite color? A more orange shade of yellow, purple or green? Which Beatle has the best singing voice? I personally like John's the most, but I guess that technically speaking Paul is better. But I prefer emotion and uniqueness over range, so John. What is your favorite / least favorite song from each album? Please me. Favorite is either Anna or I Saw Her Standing There. And least favorite is P.S. I Love You. My favorite off with the Beatles is All My Loving and least favorite Little Child. On a Hard Day's Night my favorite is either And I Love Her or If I Fell and least favorite I Should Have Known Better. My favorite on Beatles for Sale is I Don't Want to Spoil the Party and my least favorite is Honey Don't. Rubber Soul favorites are In My Life and Girl, very hard to choose, and least favorite Run for Your Life, you know those lyrics are a big yikes. Revolver favorites are actually the whole album, except maybe Good Day Sunshine. My favorite on Sgt. Pepper's is A Day in the Life and least favorite When I'm 64. Favorite on Magical Mystery Tour is Strawberry Fields Forever and least favorite Your Mother Should Know. My favorite on Yellow Submarine is Hey Bulldog and least favorite All Together Now. White Album favorites are Dear Prudence and While My Guitar Gently Weeps and least favorite is Wild Honey Pie. On Abbey Road my favorite is I Want You, She's So Heavy, and least favorite Polly Whatever Pam. Let It Be favorite is Across the Universe and least favorite Maggie May. Any favorite Beatles movie / documentary? My favorite Beatles movie is A Hard Day's Night. Favorite Beatles documentary is George Harrison, Living in the Material World. What's your favorite Beatles cursed image? There are so many to choose from and it feels like choosing my favorite child. But I think that this one is the best. Is Ringo the only Beatle? Yes, most definitely. He's a lonely master illusionist who created his imaginary friends John, Paul and George. Best song from each Beatle. John Lennon, Guilty Pleasure, but my favorite solo song of his is How Do You Sleep. My other favorites are Just Like Starting Over and Nobody Loves You. And Beatle ones, In My Life, Nowhere Man, I'm Only Sleeping, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Dear Prudence, Julia, Tomorrow Never Knows, Too Many. And A Day in the Life Together with Paul. George Harrison, my favorite solo song of his is What Is Life and Beatles While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Paul McCartney, favorite solo is 10. I mean, Let Me Roll It, and Beatles Eleanor Rigby, Here, There and Everywhere or Helter Skelter. Ringo Starr. How do you resurrect John or George?
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
What's something that really annoys you or scares you? Probably biscuit memes. Yes. Favorite solo album? Walls and Bridges by John Lennon. If Paul and John had a baby, what would you name it and to what do you think they would look like? It's me. I am their baby. My real name is 99B Adorant. And this is how I look like. How many beats can a Beatle beat if a Beatle can beat its own beats? And /or, is it okay to leave your dog in a hot car? Nothing bad could possibly happen. Who stole Paul's Hofner? I did. I created a time machine and stole it. This had to happen. I'm sorry. It's inevitable, and if that didn't happen, history would be entirely different. By the way, speaking of time travel, I love this show a lot. How do you feel about Yoko? I don't like hating on anyone. I used to hate things with a passion when I was younger, so I don't want to be like that at all anymore. Now I always find the good in almost anything. And about Yoko, I'm neutral. I actually started liking her as a joke, and she is top tier meme material. Even her screaming makes sense. She is an avant-garde artist after all. She lets out her emotion with it, because remember, she had a tragic childhood. And on top of that, it also has a shocking value, so more avant-garde points for that. It's not meant to sound pleasant, you know. I do agree that she wasn't the best to John, hooking him on heroin and turning him into a symbol, a product of peace after he died, which makes people hate him because they forget he was a flawed human who made mistakes. But in the end, John loved her, and I respect that. And Yoko doesn't deserve hate. It's 2021. She got enough of that. Let her have some peace in her final years.
Hey, pardon me for asking, but who's that little old man?
What little old man?
That little old man.
Oh, that one, that's my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yeah.
That's not your grandfather.
Which Beatles book is the best? I haven't read any yet, sorry. But I want to. So someone help us out and comment some good ones. Where the hell are the other 8 numbers? Octopus ate them. Peace and love, peace and love. Did the Beatles break up over what road to go in Disneyland or what? No, they broke up because they couldn't stand the way that John Lennon was stinking because of not showering. Is Ringo Starr the best drummer in the world? To take this seriously, he is one of the most iconic and influential drummers. If you had a time machine, would you record a video of Paul McCartney breaking a glass? Of course.
That's history right there, you understand?
What is your favorite Beatles music video? Do you want to know a secret? Yes, I promise not to tell. What's your sexuality and or gender identity? I'm probably pansexual or bisexual. The thing is, I don't have a gender preference. If you're hot, you're hot. And as for gender identity, I'm non-binary. If you could only listen to a last song. Revolution 9. I'm joking. Seriously, in my life is beautiful and feels like a final song for reminiscing over memories. Does Ringo have a sexy nose in 2021? He'll always have. Bruh. Who do you think has the biggest booty? It has been scientifically proven that John Lennon does. How many Yokos does it take to screw a light bulb?
Number 9.
Which is better, conservatism or liberalism? Mom, this is a Beatles memopage. And I think that both suck, but liberalism is better by miles. Do you consider Ringo Starr being the only Beatle bigger than Jesus? Well, if he is the only Beatle, then he is the only Beatle bigger than Jesus. Why does everyone wanna do your mom? Because she is a MILF. Do you agree with John being pan or bi? I think he was bisexual or bicurious, but at the same time it's not really okay to theorize about that since he is the only one who can know that, regardless of what Yoko said. Some people don't like labels. But I do think he had an interest into men as well, but never actually did anything about it. It was hard back then. Also, the other 3 are straight and cisgender for sure. Who is Lucy Kenny? An old lady who made live streams on Instagram and who had a huge obsession with George Harrison. Her original account got hacked sadly, and nobody knows if the new one really is her. Some people said she died, hopefully not. Is Temporary Secretary the best solo song? Why is that a question? Yes. Can you listen to Revolution 9 song before going to sleep? I always do that. Who would win? Mean Mr. Mustard or Sgt. Pepper? Sgt. Pepper seems like an old experienced dude who might also have some sort of supernatural powers. He's definitely got it. Who? Your mom. Lol xd roflrawr. How do you feel after many people chose Team Biscuits over Team Yoko?
So uncivilized.
Favorite Revolution 9 part? This is very hard to choose, but either the first number 9 section at the beginning because of how iconic it is, or when John says take this brother, may it serve you well. Why did you beat your wife? No. How did Paul McCartney write Let It Be? I don't know. I'm going to ask him. Thank you so much for watching until the end. It means a lot to me. I love you all. You're the best. Also, make sure to join my Discord server if you want.